We're going to be discussing Chinese-style censorship, and it's absolutely wild. Now, before we begin, I will read the title. Wu Chang, Fallen Feathers fans, celebrate owning the disc after the controversial patch which censors the game. Apparently, Wu Chang Fallen Feathers has been called a lot of things, including soul slop and gunner bait. I gotta say, I have nothing but contempt and utter disgust. Like, literally, I feel like vomiting whenever I hear a Westerner call this type of game gunner bait. And the reasoning that this is because of the double standard. Like, when you have a Western game, and almost every single one of them has actual pornographic scenes in it, whether it's Dragon Age, whether it's The Last of Us, whether it's Baldur's Gate, like literally every single Western role-playing game has sex scenes in it, right? And then they look at this game, which has absolutely no sex scenes in it, and they call it gunner bait. The reasoning they do this is that the West has embraced the aesthetic of ugly and disgusting. So as we saw with the Blizzard masculine jawline, like they have an embrace towards fat acceptance, towards unhealthy body types, towards pronouns, body type A, body type B, women that look like 45-year-old men. And so all China has to do, literally, like all Asia has to do in order to compete, is to just release a wholesome female character. Just that. It's like, this is a woman. And the oppressed masses of our nations, the people that are suffering under the yoke of the moral busybodies, the millions of customers that are begging for some art that looks like something created by a human, are going to just ask Asia, like, please, take our money. And so the only people losing are the moral busybodies, right? They're losing control. And then they start freaking out and saying it's gunner bait. It's not. Your shit is degenerate. Your shit is gunner bait. This shit is actually artistic and wholesome. Seriously, like there's no sex scenes in this game. And so anyway, right, like they complain. They call it soul slop, gunner bait, like literally everything they can. But at the end of the day, what people are saying, it's a surprisingly good game. I wouldn't say that this game is surprisingly good. I would say that it's surprisingly mediocre. But you gotta remember, in 2025, Assassin's Creed Shadow is considered one of the best games sold in Europe. So when you're competing with Assassin's Creed Shadow, like, you don't really have to put much of an effort. Like, at this point, you can just make a gacha game and it's better than almost anything else that's on the market. And this is the industry we're at because we allowed the moral busybodies to dominate us. And so we are being dominated. It is what it is. But again, you know, the West has censorship, and so does China. But the Chinese censorship is actually more interesting. As you can see here, Daniel Camilo is saying, yep, the game isn't even officially released in China. It doesn't have a publishing license. Too much of its content goes against what's allowed to be depicted in games like China anyway. This is really weird that the devs would just falter like this to vocal minorities. Is it though, or is it standard? Like, how many times have we not seen in the West someone uglify a female character or someone remove prostitutes from GTA also because they're catering to a vocal minority? The reality is, like, they're not actually catering to that minority, they're catering to businesses. And the businesses are the ones that are setting the ideology, and they're basically saying, yes, this is not allowed in art at all, right? Like, human beings aren't allowed to create this type of artistic thing or this type of artistic commentary, so no. If you want to sell your game, you have to cut this. Perfect example is with the video game called Ready or Not. Ready or Not is a video game where you get to play as the leader of a SWAT police force. And obviously you go in there and you deal with bad guys. Bad guys that do human trafficking, they have various sex trafficking rings, people that do drugs, like all sorts of nastiness that you see in real life. That's what you do in the video game. But when they filed the game for an ESRB rating in order to be able to sell it on the consoles, they said, well, due to the nature of the game, we can't sell that. Right? So, like, basically the West is saying, no, you're not allowed to glorify what the police is doing. You're not allowed to show real events. Like, this is not something that we allow human beings to create in art. And to see that China does the same, I don't understand where the shock is. Like, I personally hate this system. This system didn't exist like 10 years or 15 years ago, right? The world isn't a better place because we have this system now. But, like, if we have this system, we cannot look like China and be horrified. Oh, my goodness, they're doing it the same, but they have other moral values. Because at the end of the day, that's the thing, right? Like, China has other moral values. So what are their moral values? Where people got mad, you can kill the late-stage Ming Dynasty Dragon Emperor, but he was literally dead by this point in history, and you kill a horrific zombie version of him to stop his resurrection. Anyone offended by this is wild. No, it's not wild. They just have, like, different moral compass. You see, here in the West, it's all about, like, the transgenders and the pronouns. Like, that's what the West cherishes. Identity. China, apparently, cherishes the history of their nation, right? Like, their national prestige, if you will. And so, if you think Australian Karens are insane, Asmongold put it very interestingly, the Chinese citizen is far worse than the Australian Karen. And so if you release a game like this in China, you have the chances that not the government is going to be upset, which there's also a possibility, but that the actual Chinese person, the average Chinese person, is going to be upset, and they're going to form online hate mobs that are going to go after your company. They're going to go after the people that are working there, like mass harassment and stuff. And they also won't buy your game. Like, they will boycott. They will harass other people that play your game. Right? Now, again, in America, this happens when you make fun of trans people. Like, we saw this with the Hogwarts video game, which certain VTubers on Twitch got harassed for trying to play it. In China, though, you get to see it when people make fun of their history and their heritage. Right? So, like, the equivalent would be if someone was to release a video game that makes fun of George Washington, and you get to kill George Washington, right? And Americans would be that nationalistic. They would care so much about their heritage and their founding fathers that they would find the game abhorrent. It's like, why would someone want to make a story where George Washington is the bad guy and you killed him, right? That would be the equivalent. But again, like, America doesn't focus on nationalism. They focus on identity. And they focus on representation and how female characters should look like. And how everything should be over the age of 40, ugly, and hag-maxed, right? And basically, like, what this company did is that it released the game in the West. Because at the end of the day, you know, artists would like to create something that people actually want to buy. But that kind of goes into conflict with what the world busybody want people to buy. And so, like, they created the game that they knew, and apparently it did sell. It is on Steam now, but they patched it in a way that actually changes the story. And the reason that the controversy is so wild is because imagine if you were to play The Last of Us 2, as someone already said, and Ellie actually gets to draw Abby in the water, right? Like, it's such a massive change, a complete brutal change compared to what the game initially was supposed to be, that people in the West are jaw-dropping. It's like, oh, you can do that? And the answer is yes, but, like, here's the interesting part. If you're from China and you want to play, like, the original game, chances are you can do it, right? Because from my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but the developers are actually allowing the people to have a link where you can revert to a place before the game was patched. So, like, if you actually enjoy the original story and you want to play the original game, you can literally unpatch it. And like, that actually caused me a little bit of awe, because, like, no developer does this in the West. Like, no one goes, it's like, yeah, okay, we're forced to censor, but if you want to play the game the way it's meant to be played, here's a patch. And the reason no one does it is because Nexus Mods actually banned the mod from Ready or Not. Like, as I mentioned before, like that game with the SWAT, they tried to push it on the ESRB for categorization. And they removed a lot of the things from the game, right? Like, some of the victims, they removed some of the gore. And someone made a mod that returned the censorship. Nexus Mods deleted it. And that's the mentality in the West. Like, the West is really focused with what you as an adult are allowed to play, right? Like, you're not capable of making decisions and buying the video games that you want to enjoy it. We need some censors to decide for society what artists create so that you don't run the risk of accidentally buying something naughty. The Chinese aren't like that. Like, the Chinese, apparently, they are more like grassroots censorship. It's like the people at large do not like certain themes. And, of course, like, the government also punishes, but it does seem that the developers are more afraid of their actual customers. Like, the outrage there is legit. And so they don't mind. It's like, okay, if you're from the West, like, here's a patch, here's a link. It kind of works. Then the person that downloads the link is responsible and not the developers, right? And so they actually care more about their customers than the Western countries care about their own customers and their own developers. Because in the West, it's like, as long as you please Visa and MasterCard, and as long as you please the publisher and you please Sony, all is good. It doesn't matter what the customer thinks. While with this video game, it does seem that the developers, yes, they care what the government thinks. Like, they don't want to get in trouble with the government. But at the same time, they also care what the people think. And they also go, it's like, all right, well, if we have people who bought our game, we're not going to lie to them and censor it so that they can't play it. It's like, okay, don't patch it, and here's a link if you did patch it so that you can revert to the original changes. And I'm pretty sure, like, even people from China, they can use certain VPNs and workarounds in order to get this. It's difficult, but they can. Assuming that they even want to, because again, like, most from what I understand, like, most people from China, like, they actually accept this idea. It's like, yes, we are proud of our Chinese emperors and our national prestige and whatnot. So I do think, like, that part is actually legit. Obviously, not all of them, but sufficient enough in order to make developers afraid of besmirching the traditions of their country. Whether you agree or not, it's another form of censorship, of course. I just wanted to show how it differs from the one in the West, right? Like, the West cares about identity, while in this situation, it's about national prestige. Let me know what you guys think, though. And as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.